Hello and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. My name is Ishtia, and today I'd be talking about the Converse Weapon CX. I'd be doing a review about these sneakers. And before we get to the review, let me just share the reason why I decided to make a video about it. So it turns out that I have a habit of writing blogs, and my friend suggested that one of the best ways of communicating or reaching out to the community is to make a video so that people can relate to it rather than just reading it or maybe just skipping through it. So yeah, that was the main reason why I decided to make a video. So this is the first video that I'm ever creating or uploading on the internet. And yeah, I'd just like to say that apparently this also turns out to be the first video from the Asian subcontinent related to the Converse Weapon series. So I'm really stoked about that, just to see if it gets the reception that that I'm expecting. But yeah, nonetheless, yeah, let's get on with it. So today we are discussing about the Converse Weapon series. So before we deep dive into it, let me just talk about the history of the shoe. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to purchase this pair. So this sneaker was initially introduced in 1986, and it's kind of a predecessor to the Air Jordan 1, which is really famous even now. So before Air Jordan took off in popularity, which is in the early 90s, a lot of basketball players as well as people preferred the Converse Weapon series. And this shoe was represented by Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, two of the greats of the basketball game. And yeah, but because of the Air Jordan's popularity, the hype, or you can say the fame of Converse Weapon, died out in about 10 years, and since then it was discontinued. It was relaunched in 2016 with the retro version, but again it had lukewarm response, and owing to that, they never really got the collection, or you can say the series, back in circulation. Now, just last year they decided to introduce the Converse Weapon again, and some of the sneaker enthusiasts in the community, they were really hyped or stoked about getting this pair. However, the hype again died down owing to how the shoe actually turned out to be. I pretty much like it, but yeah, let's just deep dive into it. So the shoe box is partially damaged. This shoe box is damaged because of the fact that it didn't have any bubble wrap around it. It just had an outer layer. Just came in this plastic packaging, so didn't really support the box as such. So owing to the transportation, the box is now damaged. But then it's okay. I can just take it up. So it comes in a black box, like most other Converse sneakers. If you have a pair, you know what I'm talking about. It has the Converse logo on the top of the lid, and yeah, this is how the shoe looks like. Okay. Talking about the box, it has logo in front as well, and then you have the label tags on the side of the box. Okay. Now, talking about the shoe itself, it is really beautiful. I personally dig these shoes. Now, the reason why I preferred this colorway is because it's the original colorway. So back in the day as well, black and white was the original colorway that was launched. And yeah, so the upper is primarily black with white hints, and I really like the way the shoe feels in hand as well. So it is pretty soft. It's not stiff like the other Converse shoes out there in the market. Now, speaking about the shoe itself, the forefoot, you can say it has black overlays out here. Okay, it is again smooth leather. I believe it is synthetic leather, not any premium material used, but it feels premium, to be honest. And the toe box is pretty similar to what you find on the Air Jordan. Okay, so it's not elongated, and it's one of the finest looking toe boxes that I've seen so far on a basketball shoe. So when it comes to basketball shoes which are retroed, I think Air Jordan looks really beautiful. It has a beautiful toe box that is unmatched till date. But this comes close. So I think credit should go to the designer who has still managed to keep this beautiful without destroying the overall charm. Now the eye stays are again black. The mid section has the chevron logo. It bears the chevron logo. It has perforations on the toe box as well as towards the mid section. And the reason why this shoe was famous is because of the Y bar counter near the heel. So once you have the shoe in hand, it is pretty easy to spot the Y-shaped structure out here. This supports the heel and your ankle, so your foot stays pretty stable. And yeah, the sock liner again is white. Okay, it may get dirty soon, but yeah, white sock liner with good cushioning or good padding, you can say. So overall feel of the shoe is pretty good. Now speaking about the midsole, it is really chunky, as you can see. It comes in off-white colorway, sail colorway. Okay, and the outsole is black. Now the midsole itself is pretty soft, as you can see. If you press it, you can see that this would go in. Okay, it has treading along the way, but yeah, it's a pretty good looking shoe overall. And the outsole is not a single piece construction like you find on most of the sneakers these days. So it has three parts: the forefoot, the midsection, and then you have the heel counter. Now initially looking from the side, it seems that there is a wedge which is connecting the forefoot and the heel, but that is not the case. These are two separate panels which are stuck to the midsole, and then you have the CX logo which is stuck in between near the heel counter. Now the highlight of the shoe is the CX in foam. The CX foam insole. Okay, so on the dorsal side you have this Converse logo along with the chevron logo, and on the ventral side you have the indentations, and you have the CX logo which is embossed on the forefoot. Sorry, I just dropped it. So speaking about the laces, I didn't like the laces of this shoe. Reason being, it looks pretty cheap, and it feels cheap. It is like a nylon lace along with a nylon tongue, which has the branding Converse All Star. Now the only con or design fault which I found in the shoe is that as compared to other retro shoes, is it does not have any stitching along the midsole, which raises the question how durable the shoe is. It may last for a couple of months, but then this is just stuck using some super glue, I think. So it may wear off quite easily, but only time will tell. So yeah, that's the only con about this shoe. Now speaking about the comfort of the shoe, I did try them on. So in terms of the comfort, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate these to be anywhere 7 to 8. Now 10 being the highest, if you have owned a pair of Yeezys or Ultra Boosts or the Nike Invincible Run, that is the the benchmark of comfort at the moment. So this really sits up at the top, and the only reason why a lot of people hated the shoe when it was officially launched is because how the shoe looks. It's nowhere close to the original retro version of it, and I tell you why. Because if you just focus on the upper part of the sole, you can see that if it had it been the same construction or the same shape had been retained, it would be looking like a standard Air Jordan midsole. But this is not the case, and they decided to go with a futuristic design, which I really dig. So I'm progressive when it comes to such designs. I really like wearing such kind of chunky shoes as well. So yeah, in my personal opinion, I think it's a really bold move, and it kind of looks like a platform shoe. So I don't mind wearing these. And to be honest, I think if you have an open mind, when it comes to such retro shoes, or which are reimagined for the future generations, I think it's a really good move from the Converse brand. Now A lot of you would be wondering what CX is all about. CX is nothing but a triple thread technology which is denoted by the letter CX. It was initially introduced in 1915 by Marquis Converse, one of the founders. When I say initially introduced, it's not that the insole was introduced. It's just that the denotation, or you can say the representation of the triple thread technology, was introduced in 1915. That was the original time when they actually decided to term it as CX. So it's the top of the line cushioning at the moment for Converse. It's a proprietary insole, and I think this would really go well. The retail price of the shoe was $120, or you can say 10,000 in Indian currency. I recently bought these for 5,400, which is around 70 odd dollars. It's a good buy, and if you are deciding to purchase one of these sneakers, you can certainly go for it. I'm not the one to recommend sneakers, I think it's just a materialistic thing. But I personally, shop a lot of sneakers. I do have a few in my collection. I have a humble collection as such. So this definitely is one of my favorite shoes that I've bought in recent times. I did manage to get a pair of Air Jordans as well, but this really tops it off, in terms of the comfort. So if you want to have a cheaper alternative, I think you can definitely go for the Puma Rebound layup, which also comes in a black and white colorway. So if it's the colorway that you're looking for, then you can certainly go for Puma Rebound as well. That offers the soft foam cushioning as well, which is again really soft. And yeah, I think there's not much to discuss about the overall quality of the shoe. I think the leather is really great on these, and it's a good shoe to have in your collection. So Converse is usually known for stiffer shoes like the Converse Chuck Taylors and the canvas shoes as well, which are really not ideal for long days, long hours of wearing. So yeah, I think it's a lifestyle shoe. Nothing really much to say about sneakers. When it comes to wearability or durability, it all depends upon how you're maintaining your sneaker. And I think the way I maintained my previous sneakers, I think this would really last long. So yeah, that's it about from me when it comes to these sneakers. Yeah, just a personal take on the CX. So usually I have a habit of paying attention to details. So this is what I believe. CX, as you can see the chevron logo, it actually looks like C, and then you have the star which is looking like an X. So that could be CX as well. Or if you think about it this way, that if you rearrange the letters in terms of X and C, so X would stand for extra and C would stand for comfort. So that's my opinion about why it is named CX, extra comfort. It sounds a bit cliche as such, but yeah, I think that's the reason or theory behind naming these CX or having that chevron logo. Now before we we end this video, I think a lot of people are still wondering, like in this sneaker community, whether Converse would re-release the retro versions of the Converse Weapon series, okay, without the chunkier midsole. And I think I'm inclined to say that they should be, but the honest answer would be no, they would not be re-releasing or reintroducing the retro versions. Now the reason I believe this not to be released is because Converse is now owned by Nike. I think Nike bought them in early 2000s, and even though Air Jordan has its own popularity and the game is still going strong for them, I don't think that Nike would like to have a direct competitor when it comes to the Air Jordan 1. And Converse being one of their sister companies, or you can say something that they've owned, I don't think that they would like to match it up against their own shoe line. So right now Air Jordan 1 is supposed to be one of the most popular sneakers out there, and the only shoe that comes close to it is the Adidas forum highs. So, but you know, when it comes to Air Jordans, the toe box is something really unique, and I think that's the best looking toe box out there, followed by these. This is again one of the coolest looking toe boxes that I've seen on a basketball shoe. So yeah, that's my take on the Converse Weapon CX. I would be rocking this pair pretty soon, and if you want to, you know, check out the color options, I think there is one which is available in the peach colorway or the coral colorway, and then you have the white, the triple white colorway again with the off-white midsole. That again looks cool. If you are in the United States at the moment, then you can possibly pick up the varsity colors, which comes in red and white or blue and white, which again looks cool. So these are still going for a retail value of around $120 in the States. I think it has already sold out. So it may be difficult to get a pair if you are abroad. You may just have to wait for the next release. If you are in India at the moment, you can certainly pick these up from Myntra. I think the coral colorway is still available out there. The black and white colorway is still available on Ajio, but limited sizes. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I think in the next video I would be discussing about what actually makes you a sneakerhead. Just 4 or 5 points, not more than that. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and just leave a comment down below if you really like my review or my take about the Converse Weapon series. And if you are just as passionate as me, you know, discussing about the sneakers, you can definitely leave a comment. I wouldn't say subscribe to my channel, because I'm not really sure if I'd be putting out more videos or, you know, keeping you glued to your screens. I'm personally not the kind of person who really want to stay in front of the screen, but this is something that I would pursue as a hobby. So there would be upcoming videos, but not as planned. I may, you know, just randomly decide to carry it. Like, you know, I don't really want to share my opinion, but yeah. I would like to end the video by saying that, you know, if you have stayed till the end, I really appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me, or you know, check my views about the Converse series. And yeah, I think I have a few sneakers in my collection that I would like to share with you. So do let me know if you really want me to do that. Okay. So thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye bye.